insane! You have a spaceship! And none of the vehicles you get help. Every time you run into a monster in one of these vehicles, you get out and fight the monster. I don't know, maybe the people are just afraid you might scratch the paint on them or something? You actually get this big drill on wheels called an ice digger, and you still have to get out and fight. Can you picture the ridiculousness of this scenario in any kind of live action setting? Let me get out of my crazy drill thing first before you start shooting at me. Oh, yeah! Are you sure, buddy? Are you sure? Another thing that bothers me is that Lassick is supposed to be this huge evil asshole, but nobody really explains anything this guy's done aside from killing your brother. I mean, sure, all these towns are really fucked up, but what exactly did Lassick do to fuck things up? I mean, did he drop poison gas around the poison gas town? Why? To what end? Was this just part of some kind of subsidy plan for the poison gas industry? Jeez, this guy's worse than Obama. Speaking of worse than Obama, the bosses kinda suck too. I mean, none of these bosses feel particularly challenging. None of these fights seem very epic. They just seem like a slightly more souped up version of what I've been doing up until the point of seeing the boss. The only boss fight I think that is really, really interesting is this really weird one with something called Dr. Mad. And I say this only because this boss, just before you fight him, asks to hold your cat, and if you give it to him, he just randomly kills it. I mean, who does that? Who kills small defenseless pets like that? That's just weird.
Why'd you join this men's military, soldier?
To serve my country, sir!
Do you want to be some kind of hero, Jones?
Yes, sir!
Very good! Kill these puppies, Jones!
Sir?
These puppies are a direct threat to the national security of these United States!
Yes, sir!
Kill these puppies. Avec ça.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
Anyway, eventually the scavenger hunt from hell comes to an end. You go to Glassick's fortress, you cast some spell to open up his front door, which you automatically get. Thank God. You also use something called a dungeon key, which, in spite of the fact you get it at the very beginning of the game, nearabouts, you keep running into dungeons that are locked with the lock for the dungeon key. Huh? Why does every dungeon have doors in it locked with the same key? I mean, it's not like you'd ever get rid of the key. It's not like this door serves any purpose. You couldn't have gotten to this dungeon any other way but then get through the last dungeon. So anyway, eventually you get to some point in this dungeon where you use some prism dealy to show you Lassick's stupid floating castle, and then you give Maya the cat some nuts so it becomes gigantic and can fly for some reason.
That's a lot of nuts!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, after some more bullshit and dungeon crawling, you finally get to confront Lassick. Oh, and FYI, this shit goes on forever, and you have to make very sure Mayu survives this, and not only that, has enough magic left to cast Exit, or you're fucked. You have to walk back. I'm not making this shit up. The programmers are fucking sadistic. At any rate, here comes what is supposedly the final boss battle, and I actually have to concede a point to confuse Matthew here.
Yep, we've come a long way to get to this point, and now she's finally gonna take that big man-splitting sword and use it on the one person she got the sword to... Oh, now she brings a gun!
Yep. You bust your ass questing for the Laconian shield, the Laconian sword, the Laconian axe, the Laconian armor, and you don't need them. Odin, the guy who was looking for the Laconian axe from Medusa and got himself turned to stone, can just equip a gun. And guess what? In the final battles, it's way better than an axe. I mean, theoretically, he might be able to do more damage with an axe, but to the extent that most people level up their characters, and to the extent that the final bosses dodge this shit, just bring the gun. 20 hit point damage, guaranteed a turn. It doesn't sound like much, but these final bosses just shrug off most normal attacks anyway. And the gun, it's 20 every time, no matter what. And it never misses. If I could have equipped all of my party with guns, I would have. And the battles would have been over like that. Just bring a gun. So anyway, after you kick his ass, you fly back, and I was so fucking relieved that I didn't have to march all the way back to the other dungeon. Here's what I honestly said. My recording software isn't that good. It's my microphone next to my speakers. I couldn't resist this. Thank you, Jesus. So anyway, after you kill Lassic, the game tells you should probably go tell the governor, which is probably one of the rare instances of actual instruction in this game. You show up at his house and, oh my god! No! I thought I was done with your shitty dungeons and the glitchy fucking disappearing walls and everything! And if that's not enough, if that is not sadistic enough, this dungeon actually has the biggest example of a fucking middle finger by the programmers in the entire game. I honestly got lost in this dungeon for a fucking hour before I figured this out. This is just... oh... I fucking hate you people. Watch this. Watch this shit. Watch that again. Watch that shit again. Did you see that door? Well, neither the fuck did I! Jesus fucking ass monkey! Well, let me tell you something. When the final confrontation with the ultimate evil that has been plaguing your solar system and ruining everything on all three planets is less threatening and difficult and perilous to your health than finding a fucking door that's right beside you, you have failed in the programming experience, sir. Fuck you people. Fuck you. So anyway, after finding the door of eternal prickishness and going through it, you finally get to confront the big bad guy, Dark False, which is one of the many spelling errors in this game. Japanese people, for the love of God, hire a gaijin to spell check for you. So after pwning Dark Force's ass, who I'm pretty sure was the succubus who pwned you earlier, although I don't know why he didn't just finish you off, I don't know. Anyway, you go back and you find the mayor, and the mayor tells you that you're actually a princess, and that if you want, you can ascend to the throne. God, I don't know why no one thought to mention that before. At any rate, the long tyranny of the stupid Lord Lassic and his retardedly easy-to-beat misspelled puppet master Dark False has come to an end. Now it's time for my brutal tyranny! Oh, you think this is bad? You should have seen what I did to Mr. House when he tried to make me his butt boy. Hey, Mr. House? Mr. House. Coming? Just want to know, buddy. Have you been listening to K. Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s?
I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you.
Sorry, buddy, I didn't pack a razor blade, but
it's so hard to keep the smile from
I got the fire going.
Losing control and I'm all over the place. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. When you started up with nothing and you found that you're a second man.
Have a little fire, Scarecrow. Little peckish. Pre-war flesh. Okay, I know I've spent a half an hour making fun of this game, but I honestly had fun playing it. Sure, the plot is ridiculous, the characters are bizarre, and the sound is just awful. Oh, God! Oh God. I know that didn't just fuck you up like it did me, but you haven't played through this entire game. And believe me, there are monsters that have attacks that are just as fucking ear-splitting. But even with all that, I still like this game. I looked at the ROM file. This thing is only 512 kilobytes. And it's only 2 years younger than me. I am amazed with what they put out. This game truly is groundbreaking. And it's actually still fun to play. I can't do anything but recommend it. Well, I can make fun of it for a half an hour, that's true. But at the end of the day, you should play it. If for no other reason, it's got me interested in Phantasy Star 2. Oh, one more thing. Fuck exploding treasure chests. Thank you.